Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Transform Your Practice, Transform Your Life. My name is Kristina Schneider and I am a practice success coach here at The Ultimate Estate Planner. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune in to today's episode. I'm very excited about today's episode because we talk about this a lot at our 2-day Ultimate Level event for estate planning lawyers, but estate planning attorneys, why you need to become a specialist. For many of the estate planning attorneys that work with us, their firm and their law firm focuses on and specializes, and I use that term in quotes, specializes in estate planning. And that is the only area of law that they do. Now, obviously, under estate planning, there can be probate, trust administration, possibly litigation, although we would tell you litigation, the estate litigation side might take some essential structures out of an otherwise structured estate planning on the pre-planning side and the post-death administration side of the practice. You might have other adjacent areas of law, but if you are not doing, other areas like bankruptcy and litigation and personal injury and family law and divorce, your practice essentially specializes in estate planning. But as many of you know, for many state bars, you are not able to tout or promote yourself as a specialist unless you've officially been granted designation as such, either by the state bar itself, if your state bar has those specialization designations, or an ABA accredited organization. So definitely check your state bar rules about what their rules are about promoting yourself as a specialist in an area of law. For the most part, most state bars either have their own certification and designations for specialization, or if they don't, they essentially say you can't, try to lure, be deceptive in any kind of way. But you can certainly tell people that you focus in a particular area of law, or they might give you guidance on the specific wording that you use. But that being said, there are a lot of opportunities for you to consider getting a specialization. A specialization, I know we're located in California, there is a state bar certified specialization in estate planning, trust, and probate law. And here, I'm going to tell you, less than 1% of attorneys, of all the licensed attorneys in California, have that specific designation. That's huge, right? So think about if you were practicing in California and your law firm practiced specifically in estate planning, how being able to tout that statistic, which is factual, really sets you apart. It gives you that competitive advantage. It certainly is going to enhance your credibility as well as your client trust and confidence. I certainly think that it can result in commanding a higher fee to say, hey, I've done the additional work to be acknowledged as a specialist in this area. For estate planning lawyers that are listening, no matter what your experience is, I'm sure you would all agree with me when I say that law school taught you very little about what you know about estate planning specifically. So for those that actually get their specialization, to me, not only have you done the extra work to either pass another exam to get your specialization, but you typically have to practice in that area of law for at least like 5 years. I know that's the rule in California as of currently in 2025. And typically you have to show some other level of recognition of your specialization or focus in that area, whether it's by peers acknowledging your credibility and really kind of vouching for you, which is another component of being certified by the State Bar of California. That's at least part of their requirements. But it's going to show certainly a deeper mastery of complex issues. And I know one of the things that Phil specifically talks about is the fact that the State Bar even has the specialization should be enough for the consumer to understand that there are very complex issues that only certain people may understand or know about when it comes to estate planning, that it is not just a stack of documents that you plug and play and you put in, names of people, and it's just a software system that spits out a document, right? That there's this level of knowledge and counseling and helping make decisions and guiding you towards the right type of plan to get and structure of your plan, right? And so I think that there is just so much leverage there from a marketing standpoint, but as well as just building, setting yourself apart. Obviously, deciding to focus your practice in estate planning is already creating a narrower niche of planning that you do. Well, this is going to even level up that niche area of planning that you do by showing that you are a specialist. So first, I do want to do a quick plug for those Californians that are listening that are licensed in California. If you have been practicing for over 5 years and you have not received your certified specialization in estate planning, trust, and probate law, absolutely consider getting it. They have the exam, I believe, every 2 years, and they have one coming up later this fall. And I am going to do a plug for Peter Myers, who has a fantastic specialist exam prep course that he offers. And he also includes some test questions. I know he's got kind of like a virtual, and I think he has an in-person option and some one-on-one options as well for additional coaching and training to get you prepared. I know Phil has used this particular exam prep for all of his lawyers. All of his lawyers are certified specialists. And again, think of the marketing advantage of being able to say all of the lawyers at the firm have received their specialization in this area of law. So I will be putting in the description of the podcast notes a link to get more information. Ultimate Estate Planner customers and clients and podcast listeners, you have an opportunity to take advantage of a special discount on this exam prep course. It's going to be worthwhile investment of not only your money to prepare, but also your time to get the specialization, especially if you utilize it the way you should be in all of your marketing. And so, again, as I mentioned before, you are prohibited by your state bar, most state bars, from touting certain specialization unless that specialization is has been granted by some ABA accredited organization. So some other designations, if you are in a state that does not certify you as a specialist or have those specializations, is if you focus your practice on elder law, you might want to consider getting your certified elder law attorney designation, or what is also known as a CELA, that's offered by the National Elder Law Foundation, or NELF. So definitely look them up, check that out. Again, if that's an area of law that you practice in and that's a big focus, I would absolutely consider getting your CELA designation. Again, something else that you should be touting in all of your marketing and your seminars and to your prospects when you're talking to them about, your credibility and who and what sets apart your firm. Some other designations to also consider are your accredited estate planner, or your AEP, as you may have seen, which is granted by the National Association of Elder Planning Councils, or NAPEC. Another designation that they also offer is something called an EPLS, or an estate planning law specialist. And so I definitely think that you want to check these out. You can literally just Google them and get more information about what's needed and what's necessary to get these designations. It's certainly, again, in a world where people are worried about being replaced by cheap, low-cost estate plans, the do-it-yourselfers, the legal Zooms, the cheapy, the financial advisors that are practicing law unlawfully, and also, even just the dabblers in estate planning down the street that are doing $1,200 trust plans. This is the way to set yourself apart. You are able to show people, why would you, if you needed eye surgery, why would you go to a general practitioner down the street? You wouldn't, right? You would go to a specialist in eye surgery or brain surgery. Same thing. Why would you use all of your hard-earned assets and be kind of, penny wise and pound foolish and go with the cheapest option who has no experience in actually doing these estate plans? So I hope that's convinced you to consider getting your specialization. I know that for those that passed your state bars to become licensed attorneys, you probably thought that was the end of it for testing and examinations, but this is an exam I would definitely consider taking, whatever is necessary to get certified in these areas, so that you can really set yourself apart from the rest. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much again for taking the time out of your busy day to tune into today's podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any episodes. And I look forward to continuing to help you unlock your practice's potential. Goodbye, everybody.